Next thing I know is like my door opens and I wake up to James yelling, "Kate, what are you doing?" And then I was like, "What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm sleeping in the car." Hey everyone, it's Kate and James from Adventures Without a Roadmap, and we are today going to tell you another travel adventure story about, this is the time that James lost me on vacation.
We have lots of random stories, so this is another one of those random fun stories. So it was close to the summer. It was actually the week before summer, like before we were getting out of school, because we're both teachers. And so we planned this trip to go with Kate's dad to Hangout Festival, which is in Gulf Shores, Alabama. And we were on our way driving there, and
in my old car.
We were driving Kate's car and it was pretty new at that time. I mean, it was a used car, but it was fairly new at that time. And our whole plan was, we were going to go to the music festival, but our plans kind of got switched just because we found out that my grandpa had passed away, and he lived in Texas. So our plan was to drive and go see Kate's dad in Gulf Shores, and go to this like pre-event. They had like a pre-concert the day before the festival started, so we were going to go to that, and then we were going to drive through the night to my grandpa's funeral. We were leaving Wichita right after work, so we didn't get off work until like 6, and we had to pack our car, and so we left probably at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and we were driving towards Missouri and towards Arkansas. And before this all happened, Kate had gotten in an accident in her car, and it got like all fixed, and they said everything was okay on it. And
they fixed the trunk of the car and the body damage.
She ended up getting rear-ended because it was like probably like a 6-car accident when she was on her way to work. And
I stopped for a wreck in front of me, and a couple cars plowed into me from behind.
Yeah, so she got rear-ended from behind. It didn't do any damage on the front of the car, just the back of the car, and we got it all taken care of and fixed by the insurance. And so we're driving. We're like, okay, we're good to go. Kate's car, we've only had it for like a year probably, and didn't have a whole lot of miles on it. Well, I mean, it had like 80-some thousand miles on it, but not like too many miles.
It was all right in general.
It had less miles than my car at the time, and so we were thinking we'd be okay. So we drive it, and we get outside of Parsons, Kansas.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
We just kind of, I can't remember if we like lost power or we just like heard.
It started being really, really loud.
Yeah, it started making this really, really loud noise. And we're like,
I woke up James because I was driving, and I was like, it's really, really loud. It was crazy.
Yeah, and so we were kind of like trying to decide what it was. I can't remember. We might have even called my dad about it.
Yeah, you called your dad when we found service.
And we ended up learning out later that it was the exhaust manifold, which is connected to your tailpipe way down the line. And so when Kate got rear-ended, it like messed up her exhaust manifold.
But they didn't know it at the time.
And so this happened at probably 11 o'clock at night, so there was no place for us to go. We were able to drive slowly into town, and we
slept at a gas station.
Yeah, we slept at the gas station because it was already like midnight, and I don't know, we didn't know. We were still like kind of worried about what to do, but we called this company who was able to like look at the car like the next day.
Got there first thing in the morning.
Yeah, they were able to look at the car in the morning, and
they looked at the tailpipe, and they were instantly, when they saw the tailpipe, they were like, have you ever been in an accident before? And I said, we got rear-ended, and they were like, that probably jarred your pipe loose. And then, because then they were like, I bet you insurance will have to cover it. And so that was kind of a relief.
So it was kind of like hard because we were trying to make sure that the insurance would cover the rental car. So if we got a rental car, we wanted to make sure we weren't paying like an arm and a leg for it, because we were kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And we finally got like the insurance company. Well, Kate called her insurance company.
Was horrible. My insurance company they were like, we don't have documentation of this accident. We don't know what you're talking about. All this stuff. My insurance company was like giving me this runaround, even though they weren't responsible for it. It was the other car. I just wanted this company to sign off for the other car company that was at fault.
So Kate had been like already, since she already got in this accident, she'd already been talking to the other insurance company, and was on a first name basis with her agent, and they were like, she was the agent for the other company's insurance was actually very nice.
And luckily, the car that hit me,
easygoing.
The car that hit me was owned by a big construction company, and so they had a really good insurance company that was covering them, and so this lady kind of went above and beyond for us.
So she like already said like, oh yeah, go get a rental car because this is definitely as a result of that accident. And so we were lucky that they like approved it already.
They were good, yeah.
And they were the ones paying for it anyway.
They
not
found
her
the rental
insurance.
car for us. They looked up rental companies that they were connected with, and they found us the car.
And so the vehicle we got was
we also got lots of donuts while we were waiting for the insurance. No, cinnamon rolls. The workers we became friends with the workers from Munchie's Bakery in Lawrence, Kansas. They had just gone up to Lawrence and brought back some, and we ate like a ton of cinnamon rolls and peanut butter bars. And
so the nearest place that we were going to be able to get a rental car, I think, was Independence, Kansas, but they happened to like have this special vehicle that was like in Parsons, and it was from this other person that had their own like body shop or some sort of other business that was out in the country.
Worked for Enterprise.
So we got that approved, and we took this like they had like a loaner vehicle at the place that Kate's car was getting fixed at, and it was this like really junky like
little
old,
beater car.
like 2000, I don't know, it was probably like a 1999 like Buick, and it was really old. It looked like an old police car. And
I think it
felt like we were like in a taxi or something. But we drive out to this like out in the middle of the country, out in the middle of nowhere.
Body shop. No one's
and
there.
We're like, is this even like the right place? Because there's like, I don't remember if there's any signs. It just looked like this house, and they did this business from their house, I guess, and it was kind of shady.
There were some dogs running around.
There was a bunch of dogs, and it kind of looked like a salvage yard type area where you're like, are we gonna get shot or whatever?
And they kind of just told us where to find the keys too. The guy wasn't even there. Like we went inside and we like signed a paper and got the key, and I don't even think we talked to a person there.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like the Sandlot or something.
It was really sketchy, but they apparently the guy that worked there is connected with Enterprise, and so he had a Enterprise vehicle that he kept at his shop, I guess, in case like people ever needed a rental. I'm not really sure, because he said he would give us he wouldn't make us pay the deposit if we brought it back to Parsons, which was fine because we had to go back to Parsons anyways, and we weren't paying for the car anyways. The insurance company was.
So the vehicle we ended up getting was this red Dodge Ram pickup, and it was
huge.
Like pretty big pickup. It had like a lot of like horsepower. It had a lot of power to it.
I was terrified when I saw it.
And it didn't have like too many miles. It had like probably like 40,000 or 30,000 miles, and so the more, or it might have had less, I don't know, but the guy who had that vehicle really he likes it when it does get checked out get rented, because once it gets to a certain mileage, he's gonna just buy the truck from the rental company. So we had this like new red truck, and we're kind of like a little bit delayed. We weren't too much delayed. We probably left Parsons probably at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Something like that, maybe even early. I can't remember. It's been a while. But so we've had this whole whirlwind of a day. It's already going crazy, and so I drive for probably like the first probably 4 hours. I let Kate start driving probably at like 6 or 7 at night. I don't know. Usually we do where Kate's driving more of the
daytime,
the day shift, and I'm driving at night. So she probably drove from like 7, and she was going to be driving until like maybe
like
1
midnight or 1 a.m.
Probably 1 a.m. And I was like exhausted because we'd worked the whole week before until 6 p.m. And so we're already tired. We have this whole like crazy experience already. And I'd been driving probably like 5 hours, and then I was exhausted. I just like went straight to sleep once Kate started driving.
So I drove them.
Kate's like driving through these roads like in Mississippi, and she finally makes it to the interstate, which I think was like I-10 or something. And she was driving through she was driving through Mississippi, and then finally got to like Alabama. And did it happen in Alabama, or was it Mississippi?
Mississippi.
Okay, so we weren't in Alabama yet. We were close to Alabama, but we were driving through Mississippi. And Kate's all driving, and you can kind of explain some of it.
We get to the gas station, and I'm like done. This is the end of my shift, and so I get out of the truck and.
Okay, I'll explain this since Kate was more tired that time. No. Well, you want to explain the story?
Well, I have to explain my side of it.
Okay, so you explain
your side of it.
Okay.
So my view of the story is I was really tired and I got out of the truck and James was going to gas up and we were going to switch drivers. And so he was going to start driving. So I get out of the truck, I go use the bathroom, said hi to the worker in the gas station. I think he was a little bit nervous because I think I probably looked tired. And so I was like, yeah, we're on a road trip. My husband's going to drive now. So my shift's over. So I went back out to the truck and James is still putting gas in it. And I guess I was tired enough that I figured he saw me. And so I walked past him getting gas and I walked around the bed of the truck. And this truck is really tall. And so he couldn't see me once I walked around the side of the bed. And so I got in the truck and I must have shut the door really quietly. And I quietly got in the truck. I pulled the blanket over my head and I passed out. And so I was like out in like 5 minutes. And so James is still getting gas at this point. I like half in my sleep, I like hear the doors lock. And then I went back to sleep again. I was like, all right, headed to Alabama so we can get down to the beach. And then next thing I know is like my door opens and I wake up to James yelling, Kate, what are you doing? And then I was like, what do you mean, what am I doing? I'm sleeping in the car. And he's like, I've been looking for you. And I was like, well, where are we? And he's like, we're at the gas station. I was like, didn't we leave a long time ago? And he's like, no, I've been looking for you. And I thought we had been like on the road this whole time because I was asleep. Anyway, so I was peacefully sleeping this whole time. So now you can hear James' side of his experience is a little different than mine.
So I was sleeping like the whole time Kate was driving. So I was still kind of groggy or kind of tired. And we got to this gas station. We were filling up. And so I saw Kate go into the gas station. And this gas station is not just any gas station. It's like a trucker gas station. So there's all kinds of trucks and semis all next to it. It's about midnight or maybe 1 a.m. I'm not really sure. So like I'm tired. I've been sleeping the whole time. Kate had been driving. She was really tired to where didn't feel like she could be driving much longer either. And so Kate said she was going to go into the gas station and I was like, okay, cool. And so I'm filling the truck up with gas, and apparently during that time, like how Kate explained in her story, she must have snuck into the car somehow, but I didn't hear the door slam. I didn't see her walk out of the gas station at all. So I fill up the truck with gas, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna obviously
I think you thought the car was locked or something.
So I ended up locking the vehicle because I thought Kate was inside, or I thought she was inside the store as well. So I ended up locking the vehicle. So I was like, oh, there's no way Kate's in the vehicle now. And I also looked in the vehicle, and I didn't see anybody in there, obviously. So I go into the vehicle, I go to the bathroom, and I sit outside the bathroom after I use the bathroom, and I wait for like 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, maybe Kate's just having some trouble in the bathroom. And so I wait, and she doesn't come out. And so I'm like, okay, this is taking a long time. So I ended up like looking under the girls' bathroom, or the women's bathroom, was like the door was open to it. So I like kind of peeked underneath. And I was still outside the bathroom, obviously, but I kind of peek underneath, and I don't see any feet in the stalls or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, this is really, really weird. Like, where'd she go? And I was starting to freak out a little bit because I think I even like went out to the truck and like checked again to like, I was like, there's no way she's in the truck.
I think you went and sat in the truck and waited for me at one point.
So because there was like, yeah, no way that she was in the truck because the door was locked. She was not in there. And so I think
You sat in the truck, you said, for like 10 minutes next to me.
And I forgot since this story happened a while ago, but I think I like even went back to the truck to try to like make sure like to put in our phone and stuff, like how to get to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and tried to get the directions for that and all that kind of stuff. And I'd been sitting in the truck for like 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, hopefully Kate's
out of the bathroom
by that time. And Kate's like, during that time, all snuggled up in a blanket. You can't see her at all. She's just like, and she's out.
I think I curled up in a tiny little ball.
She doesn't say anything to me when I get in the truck. She just is out.
I heard the door lock, and I thought we were on the road. So.
And so I like am putting the directions in, and Kate's still not coming out, so I'm getting worried. And so I think maybe at that time is when I go back into the gas station, and I like went and looked underneath the stall, didn't see anything. And like I said, there's all kinds of trucks by this gas station, so I'm like starting to freak out. I'm like, what the heck? Where is she at? So I even asked the worker at the front desk if he'd seen this like smaller woman or girl that had went to the restroom, and he's like, yeah, but I think she like left like 10 minutes ago or so. And I was like, okay, because I can't find her anywhere, and I'm getting like kind of nervous and stressed out because I don't want anything bad to happen to her. And so I go back and check in the bathroom one more time. She's not there. And then the worker's starting to get worried as well. And he ends up like going out of the shop with me to help me look for it. Because then I like kind of look over at the semis a little bit, not like too much. He's like, "Are you sure she's not in the truck?" And so I like went back into the truck.
Because he was like, maybe you should check the truck one more time before we call the cops.
I went to the passenger side of the truck and opened the door, and then Kate's just right there sleeping. I'm like, "Kate, what? Where have you been?" And I was like,
he was so pissed.
"Oh my gosh, Kate, I've been looking for you like the last 15 minutes, and I even went into the truck and you didn't say anything." And
I was like, I was asleep. What did you want me to say? And he was like, why didn't you say anything? And I was like, what do you mean, why did I say anything? I didn't know you were looking for me.
At that moment, I'd been like really nervous, really startled, like, oh my gosh, where is she at? And then I felt really embarrassed because then I had to go tell the gas station. I was like, she's in the truck. I'm just stupid and didn't see her. And so
I think I had blankets over me too, and I curled up in a little ball.
And the funny thing is, like, so we had we then went to Gulf Shores and we got to go to the beach and got to go to the pre-event for the Hangout Festival. And then
James was wide awake after this
on the way back, we stop at the same gas station, and it's the same worker. And I thought it was kind of funny that we stopped at the same gas station because I don't even know if I knew that. It was an
accident, yeah.
But he's like, the gas station worker's like, "Have you found her yet?" And I was like, no, still haven't found her. Still
he
looking.
remembered James from 4 days later, which is funny because we drove.
It was only like 2 days.
But
later.
we drove the truck we drove it to Florida, and then we got to drive it to Texas for the funeral. And then we drove it back up to Parsons, and we went.
Well, before we went to Parsons, we drove the truck all the way to Telluride, Colorado.
My car wasn't ready yet because my insurance company was taking so long to approve whatever, and so we ended up this company gave us like an unlimited amount of time basically with this car, so we ended up driving this really nice truck all the way to
Telluride,
Colorado for our engagement too.
So we went to this music festival. And I'd been researching it.
Film festival.
Oh yeah, so it was a film festival.
And we'll tell the story of our engagement at some point, but.
Yeah, but I've been researching it all in advance, and we were able to take the truck there, which
was
worked
so nice
worked
on
out
the mountain
well
roads.
since it was like in mountain roads and all that kind of stuff.
And so then we drove all the way back to Parsons, and so I don't even know how many miles were on that car when we returned it.
Quite a few.
We put a lot of miles on that thing because we drove it to Florida, to Texas, to Telluride, Colorado, back to Parsons, and so by then our car was done, but it ended up working out well since we got to drive the rental car for all those trips and not my car, which was nice. But yeah, it was this crazy adventure of.
Yeah, I definitely ended up with some more crazy stories, and then.
And I knew he loved me then. We were only engaged, or we weren't even engaged yet, and I was like, he loves me. He's worried enough about me at the gas station to not just think this was his moment to run free.
But we also had so Kate's vehicle got all like repaired and got it covered and all that kind of stuff too. So it ended up working out. Like,
everything
really well.
Worked out well.
And ended up with a crazy story and a crazy experience as well.
And so, he wouldn't have lost me if we were in a smaller car, because like he would have seen me sitting next to him, and he would have seen me walking around the car he would have seen me opening the car door and getting in. Like, he couldn't see me over normally if you go to the car, you can like see the person on the other side of the car getting in. The truck was so big that he like, as soon as I made it around the tailgate area, he like couldn't see me anymore. So
like at the time, obviously this was like super scary for me and traumatizing, but now it's kind of a funny story to tell.
I was like,
at that time I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like crazy, and it was like terrifying because there's so many like bad things that could happen. Obviously,
well,
you're like,
he
with
thought
all these
I was
trucks,
off on a truck or on the highway somewhere.
Heard way too many not at that time, but we've heard just so many like stories of like stuff like this happening where people get kidnapped and stuff like that. So luckily, this wasn't one of those stories.
I mean, I'm pretty
it was just
tiny.
Me being tired and stupid and whatever, I guess.
I think it was just too that the seat was so big. The seats this truck was big, and so the seats were big, and I curled up against the wall with my pillow, and I had a blanket over me, so it looked like a pile of blankets. It didn't look like a person.
And, I think I was also just so upset. Well, not upset, but I was just like, oh my gosh, I've been sitting in the truck for like 10 minutes and you said nothing to me. And,
and I think it was because he had gotten in the truck after getting gas because he didn't know I had come out yet. And so he got in the truck and sat there for like 10 minutes waiting for me. And then he's like, gosh, where is she? And so then he like goes inside. But
so maybe that was how it happened. Like I put gas in. I didn't think I needed to use the restroom. And I like sat in the truck for like 10 minutes waiting for her, getting directions, and then I decided, okay, I might as well go use the bathroom
While
since
he was
Kate's
waiting
taking
for me.
like 7,000
Because then
years.
I heard the door lock, and he was like, well, I know she didn't go back to the car because the door's been locked, and so
Yeah.
it was just this whole crazy story. And then I was totally fine. Like, I was sleeping peacefully when he randomly woke me up and was like, what are you doing? And so then I was awake for the next 30 minutes as
And
he
we were like,
is retelling me the
worker
story.
at the gas station and I were getting ready to call the cops
Yeah,
and stuff,
he
and
was like,
start
before
a whole
we call the cops.
investigation. So
Yeah, he wanted to have us check the car one more time before we called the cops. But yeah, James was like, why didn't you tell me anything? And I was like, I was passed out. Like, I had no idea any of that was
just
happening.
super embarrassed, but at the same time, I was also very worried.
He was really worried about me, and I didn't realize necessarily. I was so tired, I didn't realize how serious the situation was or how worried James actually was. I was like, why are you so mad? And he was like, I'm not mad. He was like, I was worried about you. I couldn't find you. And so, yeah, that was our crazy time of James losing me in the truck. It all just, no vacation ever goes completely as planned, but I don't know, I think we can make this a little series of travel hiccups by Kate and
We
James.
did, like I said, make it to Gulf Shores, and we were able to like go see the little the pre-event and go see the beach, and so it ended up
all
working
worked
out.
out well. I'm shocked that we still made it there in time, but we did. And so
yeah, even with her car breaking down and me losing her and all this stuff. So
nothing went right, but everything turned out awesome, and now it's more
definitely
memorable.
Like very tired that whole like weekend and stuff. So yeah.
So that's our crazy adventure of how James lost me.
Yay! But now I found her again. She's still here.
And now we're married. So
yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching. Now you can also see the gorgeous sunset behind us.
And I guess she still said yes after that. After I proposed like a few weeks later. So
I think I said yes because I knew he loved me enough to look for me at a gas station.
But up to that point, she was still unsure.
So I knew that he loved me enough to not let me like get kidnapped by a trucker and just let it happen.
Yeah,
so.
She realized she might be better off with me rather than in a truck somewhere.
Yeah.
Doing who knows what.
So, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed our story of me getting lost. You can also see the gorgeous sunset behind us as the sun is setting. You can see our little setting here is gorgeous too. So we're out here in Kansas in this riverbed. So pretty awesome area to do some video footage. So thanks for watching. We will catch you next time. See ya.